Howdy, folks. Nathan and the TFL crew coming at you from, well, our homes. That's right. We are doing a special follow-up because a lot of you guys have been asking us how we're doing right now with the current situation. So rather than just an email or something like that, we decided what we would answer your questions doing it right here on camera. And I have Andre, Roman, and Steven here. Unfortunately, Tommy's outside. He's pushing the snow blower and having a really good time doing it. But the rest of us, it's snowing in Colorado, but the rest of us are going to answer some questions that you guys have asked us. And at the end of this, we're actually going to talk about a little bit of stuff coming up in the near future. So let's get right to it. I'm going to start with Roman, then we're going to go to Steven and Andre and kind of work in that fashion. So first question, hey, Roman, how you holding up?
Oh, you know, I'm not sleeping a lot, Nathan. Not because I can't, not because I don't want to sleep, just because, you know, I'm super stressed out. You know, this is a really stressful time, and you know, video production is a team effort. It's a collaboration, and it's really hard to do it when we're all sitting in different places. You know, we're really trying hard to do the best that we can to keep the entire team together. You know, we've applied for the payroll protection program that the government has put out, and we've gotten a thumbs up from the Small Business Administration, but we haven't seen any money yet. So I guess we're like halfway there. You know, I'm working with our landlord. We leased some new office space, and he's been great. He actually just cut our rent by 75% for the next several months going forward. So that's going to help a lot. And so, yeah, you know, the goal is to come out of this stronger than we went into it. And you guys are, you know, working your asses off trying to make that happen. Everything just takes 3 times longer, right? Every video now has to be put up on Dropbox. The editors have to edit it. They have to put it back on Dropbox. Then we find some huge mistake. Then they have to re-edit it, upload it. And yeah. It's been very stressful, so I'm not sleeping a lot, but we've got a great team, and I'm very proud of everything that we've been able to do. We've basically kept the videos rolling, even though our revenue has dropped. It's probably below 50% now. I mean, it kind of went off a cliff, and that's understandable, right? I mean, it's just the economy is melting down. People aren't buying cars or trucks, but yeah. So I guess the good news is, we're getting through this. The bad news is no one's sleeping a lot. Are you sleeping, Nathan?
I'm sleeping like a baby, but only for like 4 hours. So I guess it's sort of a give and take. Okay, Steven, how about you? How you doing?
I'm doing okay, man. I mean, the thing I count myself lucky as being as a parent right now, because I actually have 2 tiny babies. And you might think I'm crazy because, trust me, having babies is stressful all on its own. But you know what? It keeps me busy. It keeps me so focused. I have 2 under 2 right now, so I mean, we're just so busy running around with them, and you know what? Thankfully, I can't really explain to them what's going on because they wouldn't understand it anyway, which would be a whole different issue. I know Andre has maybe that problem with his older kids. So, anyways, for me, I've just been focused on my babies as much as I can, man, and that's keeping me sane for sure.
All right, awesome, Andre.
I just went to shoveled snow. Let me show you. So that's kind of
it snowed so much on you guys. Here in Ontario, we got like a dusting, and you guys got feet of snow. That's not right.
That's crazy because Canada invented snow.
I'm doing really well. So what I'm doing is, well, I'm coming to you from my home office, obviously, but I'm using TFL and TFL truck and car and all of the things that we're doing, TFL Studios, as a point of focus, and just kind of I'm trying to protect myself from a lot of the other media that's kind of hitting all of us. So I'm trying to live in my own little bubble, and it's helping me a lot. Yes, I do have 2 kids. I have a 6th grader and a 3rd grader, and they're at home. And I'm also today been trying to be a teacher. So basically homeschooling and also shoveling driveways and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun, but I think the world, our automotive world hasn't stopped as far as I think our team is concerned. As Roman was saying, you guys are saying, you know, we're still putting out, I think we're putting out actually more videos and written stories than we've ever done. And I think we have to do that to maintain, our business and the audience, and talk with you guys. But also, in a way, it's a little bit easier because I don't have to drive an hour to work right now, so I'm saving a little bit of time as well.
Hey, Andre, I noticed you added a new trailer to your collection behind you. Now you've got a truck. What is that? Is that a Jaguar on top of that? Nathan, can you tell what that is? Who can tell what car that is?
Yeah, it does look like a Jaguar. It looks like,
yeah.
220. Am I right, Andre?
Yeah, it's a 220. It's
British Racing Green.
It's a really hot car.
That's beautiful. Andre, what's the axle rating on those axles, man?
Yeah.
You're Mr. Toe. You should know.
How many pounds, Mr. Toe? Like what, 2?
I don't see a 10Y hitch, and I don't see a weight distributing hitch either. What the hell? Andre, Mr. Toe, come on.
The only trailer I was able to buy.
I gotta say, I'm really jealous of Steve today. Tommy and I literally spent an hour doing the driveway. It's the heaviest. I think 20 inches of snow, super heavy snow. You put out that video of your tractor, dude. I am so jealous of that thing. All I kept thinking was, if I had a tractor, if I only had a frickin' tractor.
Heck yeah, it makes life a lot easier.
We call Steven Mr. Plow.
Yeah, I love that thing, man. It's amazing.
Is everybody going to get a Mr. nickname? Because I don't want to know what mine is. It's probably going to have to do with something like fatherhood or daddy or something, and I just can't go there right now. So I wanted you guys to know, the audience, that there's something that we do every day on the work days. In the morning, first thing we do is we all get together, the editors, the hosts, everybody that's involved with TFL, and we have a meeting, and it lasts anywhere between half an hour or Roman Standard Time 1 hour. And during that time, we hash out everything that has to happen, not only during the day, but during the week. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because that's been keeping me kind of normal. It's, I wake up and I'm going to work because that's what I do. And I got to help. It helps the day because that's the first thing I do. And then I get into my routine of either writing or shooting a video or whatever. And it really does help encapsulate the day. So just so you guys know, it's kind of behind the scenes. But I was going to go to the next question. And initially, we're going to go into Nathan, how do we pass the time? But I think we pretty much answered that, right, guys?
Nathan, let me be clear. We have a meeting via Hangouts, just so people know that we're not cramming into a small conference room and all giving each other bro hugs.
No, we're not exactly doing that. It's all online. And we get up and we do it all online. And the cool thing is my kids, animals, and spouse have to be quiet during that time. So that gives me a chance to enjoy a cup of coffee, quiet time, and I get to do work.
Yeah, I fight that battle too. That's why my microphone's always muted, because you never know when a baby might erupt in my house. Sometimes the symphony starts playing, and then.
Hey, there is some good news with all that's been happening. I think officially the chest bump is now dead.
Thank God. If they could just get rid of man buns as well, then I would be thrilled. But I'll take what I can get. So let's get into the next question, which is, what foods do you miss most? Roman, go.
Oh, wings. I miss wings so much. Oh my God, I love good buffalo wings. I would kill for some buffalo wings. I'm sure someplace they have them. I went to Northwestern, and there's still a restaurant there called Buffalo Joe. So if you guys are from Evanston, you'll know it. Best wings in the world, and I miss them so much. Yeah, there's a place here in Boulder called Murphy's. You've all been there. They do really good wings, and it's a sit-down restaurant, and they closed, and yeah, they don't even do takeout. And there's another place called Southmouth that I think is open that does wings, but God help you.
Roman, yeah, I went to Costco several days ago, and I got some frozen wings. Do you want some?
Oh no! I don't want to cook them. I don't want to go get them at a grocery store. I want them served to me with ranch and celery and carrot sticks and about a dozen of those little handy wipes so I can wipe my hands afterwards.
That's it.
And an iced tea.
You want the whole experience, is what you're saying.
Yeah. It's not just the wings. It's sitting down with you guys and just doing this, but face to face over a big old bucket of wings.
All right, so Stephen?
So my answer's a little bit opposite.
It better not be poutine.
No, I mean, Nathan, you know that I'm not going to miss out on food, man. So since this has started, I've actually started cooking way more. I've made like homemade cinnamon buns, homemade bread. I don't know if it shows, it probably does, but I've been cooking up a storm. We've been eating really good, man. And that's actually something I've been kind of preaching is if you really eat well, if you're eating different kind of foods, that's another thing you can sort of focus on, takes your mind off it. So I can't really complain about anything except what Roman said. Like, I'm not missing the food. I'm missing restaurants. I'm missing the bar. Like, I'm missing going out and getting a beer, like with your buddies. That's, it's about the atmosphere, not just the food. But yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna, miss out on food, man. Come on.
Come on, Andre.
I don't miss many meals. I don't miss meals either, Stephen. Do a lot of cooking, but we're also doing some takeout. But what do I miss the most? I think probably like a good burger joint. I mean, I do have a grill outside. It's covered in a foot of snow right now, but like actually going for a burger, because we did like takeout pizza, and that's okay. I mean, that's good, but actually getting a giant burger somewhere.
No borscht, Andre? Really, no borscht?
Borscht,
like cabbage to really,
Seriously.
I made some goulash last week.
So it's close.
To honor
one of my
Hungary.
favorite bars in Denver is actually called Red Square.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been there, but they have a selection of vodkas, of course, but they also have like borscht, and they have like pelmeni, which is dumplings, and they have a selection, kind of a Russian food selection, and I miss going there for sure.
Okay, so that's one of the places we're going to hit once everything is cleared, right? Okay.
Red Square.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I miss the all-you-can-eat, of course, Indian places, because I love them. And there's a really good one by our old office. All of us have gone there several times. But the idea of having people walk by food and sneezing on it before you eat it, normally it'd be okay. Right now, not so okay. So I'm trying to put it out of my mind. So with that being said, and by the way, my wife is feeding me incredibly well. I mean, fresh cooked food every day. She even occasionally lets me cook, which means fire hazard. All right, so here's something that it's going to be a sort of a loaded question, but I want you guys to pay attention. What cool things have you learned while in quarantine?
So I've learned that Netflix and Amazon pretty much suck. What is it with Netflix? Like, why do they keep recommending the same movies I've now gone past and disregarded like for the last 2 months, right? What I go to Netflix, I turn it on, and hey, you want to watch, and I'm like, no, I don't want to watch that. I didn't want to watch it yesterday. I didn't want to watch it a week ago. And then the really crafty one is then I go to Prime, right? Because, well, there's something on Netflix, and then Prime has all these really cool like shows that are perfect for what I love. Like, I love any kind of travel, motorcycle travel, car travel. I love that genre. And so I'm like, oh wow, look, there's somebody riding a motorcycle around the world. I click on it, I'm super excited, and then the thing is like shot on a potato with the production values that a 3-year-old would put into it, right? And and then I end up on CNN all depressed. I've learned that even the more choice you have, the less real good stuff there is. And every so often, like, run into something that is just really good, and I'm really those moments are special. So there's a show called The IT Crowd, which I think is hilarious. That's on Netflix that I've now like binge watched. Come Fly With Me is another one. It's another British show. What We Do in the Shadows. So
Yes.
Whenever I come on to shows like that, I am just over the moon. But for the most part, you watch like 15 1-minute segments, and you're like, jeepers creepers, this is horrible.
Stephen.
So Rowan, I've been through the same thing you've been through already. So my wife and I went in a whole different direction, and we bought this beauty. We've gotten into yo-yoing. I'm going to do a little demonstration for you.
No! Yeah.
So check it out. Here we go. So this is an unresponsive yo-yo, so it doesn't just come back up. You got to do a little trick like that and grab it. And we've been working on this nonstop for about a week now. This is like the yo-yos that the pros use. Oh, see, I'm not a pro at all yet.
Can you do walk the dog, Steve? You know that one?
I can do it, but then I can't get it to come back to me. The dog runs away. So again, it's a stupid thing, but my wife bought it, and we've been just messing around for a week, just trying to learn to get better at the yo-yo.
And pray tell, Steve, where did you find that essential bit of merchandise?
You know what? The internet, man. The internet delivers, and I think it was Amazon, to be honest. I'm not totally sure though, but in a couple of days, it showed up at the front door.
All right, Andre.
I've learned so much. I don't even know where to start. I could get all philosophical on you. I had time to think. I've learned. I've spoken to my sister. I have a younger sister who lives in Manhattan, and we usually talk maybe once a month because she's a real estate agent. She's very busy. And I've talked to her probably already like every other day. And I'm catching up with her. I'm talking with my folks sometimes on Skype. Obviously my kids, I'm spending, I can see them a lot more. Normally what we would be doing is we often travel to events, auto shows, different launches, and would sometimes miss, being at home. And Roman just disappeared.
I lost him.
Wow, I didn't think I could bore him that much. Was I boring?
The internet died. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Hey, I lost you guys. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Roman. I was boring you to death. I apologize.
No, you've got a hot sister. I was really into that too, and I'm sorry I missed it.
Okay.
Well, she's cute. Sorry.
Okay.
She wasn't on some like reality show.
Roman went there. I didn't go there. He did. Just so you know.
That's what Tommy says.
I learned stuff every day.
I learned something new today.
What else have I learned? I learned how to do Zoom and recording, going live through Zoom and to Zoom, and zooming around the place. And anyway, it's been a crazy experience so far.
Oh, all right, far out. Real quick, I have a bunch of siblings. I've been doing something similar to Andre, where I've been talking to them way more often, perhaps than I should. And it's actually pretty cool because we get to catch up. They're scattered all over the country, and I'm the youngest of a bunch. But more importantly, I have learned the value of this. These have been saving my sanity. Headphones. Because everything tunes out, and the louder the music, the voices dissipate in my head. Very valuable. So I learned that.
What's the latest record, Nathan? Is it a Rush record? What do you listen to?
No, it's not Rush. It's Masters of Reality, Black Sabbath.
Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah. And really playing that loud and having sort of satanic thoughts, really good in quarantine. I highly recommend it. So let's move on. Oh, by the way, I've watched some really good movies. I know Roman's and everybody else is a little bit tense, but if you're into automotive movies, there's one that just came out. It's called A Life of Speed. It's about Juan Manuel Fangio, one of the finest race car drivers ever. It's pretty good. And there's a few others that are out there. That's a really good one. And also I recommend The 24-Hour War, which is way better than Ford versus Ferrari. It's about the same thing, but it's much more detailed. And that's the problem with the movie. It left out a lot of details. So just wanted to throw that out there. Now, let's start wrapping this up because this is sort of the preview of the future for you guys. What are you guys working on? Go for it, Roman.
The thing that we're doing, and you guys will get more into this, but we've really been trying to do a lot of interaction with our viewers, you guys out there, because, at this, like Andre, we did a poll, right, for the Gold Hitch Awards. And how many people responded to that? What was the highest number for the poll?
Well, we did 4 of them, and for a single one, it was about 18,000, which blew my mind.
18,000 people. Yeah.
But when you combine all of it, it was over 60,000 responses.
Wow.
So
yeah,
that was insane.
That's incredible. So we're really trying to, and I don't want to go into details because you guys will talk about this more, but we're really trying to engage you guys out there more because we figure that we do this for you, right? This in a way is as much your channels, your show, your community as it is ours. So, because we've got such great fans and friends and viewers, we've got a great Patreon community, we've got a great YouTube community, we've got a great Instagram community, Facebook community, and we're trying to kind of consolidate all that and have you be a much bigger part of the show. So there's a lot more in action that we're trying to do. And so we're trying to be more transparent. We're trying to be more just accessible. And that's what I've been doing, just trying to get the community kind of together so that, we're all in this together. So let's all be in together and talk about cars and trucks, because that's a passion that we all have, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yes. Go for it, Stephen.
Sure. So yeah, I mean, running off that, one of the ideas we came up with, and let me just say too, as much as it's been challenging in this time for sure, it's actually been almost fun, because we have to kind of think of right outside the box, come up with really creative ideas, different things than we normally do. And one of those ideas that Roman was mentioning that really we want to engage you guys in is Truck Madness. We're going to play on March Madness. We're going to set up a whole bracket for pickup trucks, off-road focused pickup trucks. We have tons of experiences in these, and you guys have heard our experiences over and over. So now we want you to weigh in. So we're going to put out polls. We're going to get your viewer responses to the trucks, and we'll count down each along the way, eliminate pickup trucks, and at the end we'll have a winner. And again, it'll be the viewer picks finally, not us, not me on my soapbox telling you what's the best. It's you guys letting us know, and I think that's what's so cool about it. And I can't wait to start that. So yeah, watch out for Truck Madness.
Is it going to be like March Madness, but with trucks?
March Madness, but with trucks.
I love it.
Madness. Take it away, Andre.
And it's going to be in May.
Yeah.
May Truck Madness.
Yes.
All right. I can't wait. Look for that. Look for that. We want you guys involved in that. So we're going to ask you, basically, we're going to ask you what your favorite off-road truck is. And we're going to do a bracket, and we'll pick the best off-road truck in America on Sunday, or Monday, or whatever day we'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. We just completed a year of truck testing. It's our 2020 Gold Hitch and Gold Winch Awards, just published this week. And 4 categories, 4 winners, also lots of losers. We have all of that information on the TFL Truck YouTube channel, tfltruck.com. We had Jeep, Ram, Ford, Chevrolet were some of the winners in both towing categories and off-road categories. It was well, for me, it's just so much work, and finally culminates in this. And I'm very glad. I'm very glad we did it. And there was a lot of huge response from you guys as well. 60,000 responses on a poll. I mean, mind-boggling. So we're doing that. I also have some more happy news. So we purchased this truck last year, F-250, the 2020, big Godzilla, and we shipped it actually this week to California. It went to Carly Suspensions. It's getting a very, very high-tech, very advanced leveling kit, basically. But it's also going to be ready for more weight, because we're going to put a camper on top of that truck in the bed. It's going to be awesome. I just spoke just an hour ago with some folks about wheels and tires. So we're going to put some giant wheels and tires on this thing. Well, not too giant, not too huge, because it still has to be a functional truck that we hope to take across country later this year. So that's really good. And what I'm thankful for is that I was worried that like Carly Suspension would be closing down, or the wheel manufacturers, or the camper manufacturers, but all these guys are coming together and they're saying, let's do this. So it's really great.
Now, hold on, Andre. You said we're going to be taking it across country, but Nathan, we're doing more than that. It's not just across country.
No, it's a lot more than that, and also involves 2 vehicles, not 1. We're also working with our project Gladiator, and they're going to be 2 different recipes for a similar overlanding vehicle. So one's going to be a little bit more American style, one's going to be a little bit more European style, I think. So we're going to be doing the transcontinental run, basically one side.
Transamerica Trail.
Transamerica Trail, that's what I meant to say. Transamerica Trail, and basically a good chunk of this country all in dirt. And that's coming up in the near future. But there's more to it than that, guys, because we're talking about a series, and we haven't done a series in a little while, a big adventure series, and that's exactly what this is going to be.
That sounds fun. You guys got to get me in on that.
Well, the Ford is on its way, and the Gladiator, I think, is also on its way. Yeah.
That's right.
If on its way means we've got a bunch of parts sitting in the garage, then yeah, it's on its way. We're We're waiting for America to reopen.
But once it does, we're going to be flying out there. We're going to be just moving like you can't believe, guys. The gates are going to open, and we have a ton of stuff to film. Now, while we're currently in this situation, we've done a couple new things that all of us are involved with, and that's including podcasts, and that's happening right now. And we're also doing Nathan and Steven to the rescue. And what both those things do is they answer emails that you guys send us, and whatever is not answered on one thing, we try to answer with the other, and we try to get as many answered as possible. And this is happening right now. So the more emails you guys send into us, the better. Oh, and by the way, guys, we're also doing another thing. We're taking cool trucks and cool cars that you guys have and doing a walk around video that you guys film, and we're putting it up there. And what's it called, Roman?
That's called Dude, I Love or Hate My Ride Home Edition. And we're knocking those out. We've done a lot of Love My Ride, so I'm out there asking you guys for the I Hate My Ride. You know, Tommy said I'm being negative, but let's face it, sometimes we bought vehicles that we just can't stand. And I think that'd be an interesting owner experience to find out like what vehicles you bought and you just couldn't stand. So if you want to send us one of those, just go to, you can go to any of the channels now, look at the home edition, and Tommy gives you complete directions on how to, actually we'll do a link in the comments below, and you can, there's a little video on how to go about doing that. And you mentioned it, Nathan, we're doing a new podcast called Talking Cars and Talking Trucks, wherever podcasts are sold. And we've been actually doing some really interesting things with that. We had Jim Morrison on, the CEO, the head guy for Jeep, talking about electrification. We did a video with a podcast with Chris Chapman, who is the lead designer of the Hyundai Kona, talking about what's happening with design. And Andre, we just did a podcast with who and what was said in that podcast about Raptors. This one hasn't been published yet, but it's coming next week. So why don't you preview that a little bit?
This is a sneak peek.
Yep.
It's a sneak peek. We had a podcast at TFL Talking Trucks, which is not published like Roman said, but it was with General Motors chief engineers. Tim Herrick was one, and Jim Dennehy was another.
Yeah, the head of trucks, dude.
For all trucks, SUVs, big ones, full size. And Tim is actually vice president of global engineering projects for General Motors. And there was a quote said, not by Roman or I, but by GM engineers. And they did say that the Raptors will be extinct once again. Which to me sounds like they are working on something.
Oh, don't give it away. Don't give it away.
Stop. Watch
the podcast.
Watch this space, and we will give you more in the near future. Right, Andre?
No. Yes.
All right. That's a team effort, guys. Hey, guys, thank you so much for listening and watching and being part of our community and part of our family. We could not do any of this without you. All of us are holding tight. We hope you are as well. Be safe, be sane, and remember, send your emails, your comments, and everything else to TFL. And apparently Andre's got a bat that he's saving for me. What's up with the bat?
I think it's for me to keep away from his sister.
He had to mention his sister. Okay, guys, I think that's enough for today. Everybody run from Andre. We'll see you later. Bye, guys.
I'm going to knock some kneecaps, okay? All right, thank you.